Andy Murray crashes out of Australian Open to inspire Mischa Zverev. Andy Murray, out of sorts and scrapping like a junkyard dog for 3.5 hours over 4 sets, could not hold off the magnificent challenge of Mischa Zverev, the world No. 50, and went out of the Australian Open on day 7, when he surely harbored hopes of cashing in on the earlier departure of Novak Djokovic. The last time the top 2 seeds failed to reach the quarter-finals of a slam was at Roland Garros in 2004. Denis Istomin, the world No. 117, played the game of his life to put 6-time champion Djokovic out in the second round. Zverev, best known as the older brother of 19-year-old prodigy, Alex, who lost a close match to Rafael Nadal on Saturday, finds himself in the quarter-final of a slam for the first time at 29, after beating a player he described beforehand as the best in the world. "Honestly, I don't know how I did it," Zverev said courtside after winning 7-5, 5-7, 6-2, 6-4 in front of a packed and raucous Rod Laver Arena crowd on Sunday afternoon with attacking tennis of the highest order. "I just served and volleyed the whole way to pull it off. Somehow I made it. I got excited at the end, but the crowd was here. How can you not stay focused? It was kind of easy to stay aggressive but definitely tough to stay calm. It means the world to me, and to have my whole family here, it's just amazing. Everything is new to me, everything is a little bit unreal, like a dream to me. My brother inspires me all the time. He challenges me to do better all the time. He's still ranked higher than me, so he gets to walk in the door first at home." Murray was outright favorite after Djokovic's departure, but, try as he might, he could not break his opponent down. The only time they had played each other he beat him for the loss of 4 games on his winning the boys' title at Flushing Meadows in 2004. They are the same age but separated by galaxies in achievement and stature. Zverev was honest enough to say before the match, "The result will depend on Andy. If he plays best tennis, I don't think I have a lot of chances. Let's see if I can annoy him a little bit. If I'm serving well and I'm not missing any volleys, maybe I can do some damage. Honestly, he's the best player in the world." Not on Sunday, he wasn't. It was a match that did not digress much from the script once the tone had been set in the early stages. Murray's normally impeccable defense let him down under pressure and his serving was not near the heights he had hit earlier in the week. Zverev took points on 27 of 40 of Murray's second serves, and that was the building block of his success. The German also was ferocious and controlled at the net, winning the point 55 times in 99 visits. Murray might be vaguely comforted by the widely held view that, despite the smaller gap in ranking points, his losing performance was marginally better than Novak Djokovic's in going out to world No. 117 Denis Istomin on day 2. Those extraordinary results have set the tournament alight, the first time the top 2 seeds in a slam have failed to make the quarter-finals since 2004 at Roland Garros, opening and closing doors all over the draw. It took Zverev 3.5 hours on a warm but not debilitating afternoon to beat the world No. 1, and he did it with a sort of attacking tennis that suggested desperation but was born out of necessity and inclination. Whoever dressed Zverev, Deglo tangerine shorts, sleeves and shoes, clearly thought he was doing a shift on a school crossing. Nevertheless, he kept it bright and tight with some excellent tennis until Murray broke in the 4th game. Then the world No. 50, 1 place ahead of Dan Evans, who had problems of his own against Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the Hisense Arena, broke back at the second attempt, coming well inside the court to drive Murray deep on both flanks. As luck would have it, all Zverev's, the net intervened on the German's behalf twice in the 7th game, as did a passing helicopter during Murray's ball toss, and the Scot had to save 2 break points to stay in front. This was a harder assignment than anyone had predicted, even Zverev, who beforehand said he would struggle to stay with Murray at his best. This was not Murray at his best, nor was he at his worst. He was just constantly flummoxed by a determined and talented opponent. He had not lost here to a player as lowly placed as the German since 2006, when Juan Ignacio Kiela beat him, but Zverev pushed him all the way in every game. Trusting his attacking instincts, Zverev came in behind nearly every serve, much as Sergei Stakhovsky did when beating Roger Federer in the second round at Wimbledon in 2013, but it was inevitable he would pay the price for it at some point. In the ninth game, Murray drew him onto the punch beautifully to force one netted volley too many, for a second break. Murray needed only to hold to take the set, but Zverev kept swinging and was rewarded with a break back when Murray botched a backhand volley. The pattern continued when Zverev played a near-perfect point to break for 6-5 on the hour, dinking a drop volley to seal his third break. Murray was in genuine trouble at 40-love down on his opponent's serve, and there was nothing he could do about Zverev's ace to take the set. It was written, perhaps, that Zverev would crack under the strain of his own adventure. He won 30 points at the net in the first set but, at the start of the second, faltered at his favored place on the court to drop serve. Murray handed him 3 break points with his second and third double faults of the match, and had to fight hard to hold through 2 deuce points for 3-0. Still, Murray struggled to assert his dominance. He saved 2 of 3 lazily surrendered break points in the fifth game, but the big left-hander refused to go quietly, and the breakback duly arrived when Murray slapped the forehand long. He repaired the damage with a sizzling winner down the line for 4-2, but Zverev refused to buckle and got another look on the Murray serve. He was rewarded with an easy break as he watched the forehand fly by him over the baseline. Zverev, looking vulnerable for the first time, saved 4 set points and held with an ace for 5-all. However, in the space of 3 games, Murray had held to love twice and squandered 4 break points, then broke to love to level at a set apiece. This was tennis at its most profligate. The third continued in the same vein. Zverev broke early and held for 4-2 on a dubious line call upheld by Hawkeye. For all that the outsider was making the running with his aggression, Murray's game was creaking under the persistent onslaught, and he could only grin foolishly when a backhand volley bounced out off his head as he spun in the shot to drop serve again. When Murray dumped a backhand to hand the third set to Zverev, a minor crisis had grown into a serious dilemma after 2 hours and 40 minutes of enthralling tennis. Murray dropped serve after a 9-minute struggle at the start of the fourth, and he was fast running out of time and games. Relief spread through his box when he held, shakily, for 2-3, deep disappointment when he failed to break. After a decent service game, at 3-4 down, he had just 2 chances left to break and stay in the tournament against an opponent who refused to play to his ranking. Zverev served big for game point, Murray stuck a return wide, and Zverev was a game away from the biggest win of his life. A magnificent stop volley won Zverev the first point on Murray's serve for 0-15. Murray scrambled to 15-all. Zverev drove a forehand wide, 30-15. A Zverev return trickled over off the net, 30-all. Murray saved with a booming serve for 40-30, then netted from deep for deuce. Zverev hit long for game point, Murray. The chair overruled to call fault on Murray's first serve, but he refused to challenge, and replays showed it was in deuce. Murray attacked midcourt, game point. A desperate backhand from behind the line kissed the line, and he stayed in the tournament. Zverev, serving for the match, got to within 2 points of victory with the stretched backhand drop volley, one of the shots of the tournament. Murray dumped a backhand to hand him match point and the place went crazy. Murray's wild forehand slid achingly into the tram lines and the job was done. Murray, more philosophical than devastated, said later, he came up with some great pickups, especially reflex volleys at the end of the match. It was tough because I was playing some good shots, but it wasn't meant to be. He deserved to win, he played great when he was down and also in the important moments. I couldn't convert my opportunities. In the last game I also came up with some great returns. I definitely could have served better a couple of sets. I don't think I was flat. I was getting myself pumped up, trying to get myself a bit more energy, Positive body language at the end of the match. I had some opportunities in the last 2 service games, maybe missed a couple of balls. He came back from all of the mistakes he made, kept coming up with great shots. Not too much you can do about that. It was a tough one to lose. Obviously I wanted to go far in this event. I'm disappointed right now, but credit to him. He played a really good match.